Welcome back, fellow food geeks. It's good to have you back. Today we're making a very healthy flatbread. We are making palak paneer parathas or spinach and cheese parathas. These are absolutely wonderful. Of course, they are reminiscent of Punjabi cuisine and they're chock-a-block full of nutrition. Your children and you all are going to enjoy it. Just try it once. So for this, these are the following ingredients. First of all, we are going to need a dough, and for that I have taken 1 1/4 cup of water and 2 cups of whole wheat flour. That's all we need, and I'm going to need a dough. This is now needed. I'm going to cover it and keep it in the fridge for 30 minutes. And if you may need a little more or less water depending on the brand of whole wheat flour that you're using. Now here we have spinach. I have around 500 grams of spinach which I've cut really well, and then I've washed it, put it in a salad spinner and then put it on towel so that it dried up. And then we have grated ginger, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon of finely chopped green chilies. Now if you don't like green chilies, you can take a little bit of red chili powder, half a teaspoon, or you could add both or you could remove both. It's entirely up to you. Totally your call. And here I've taken paneer, 100 grams of grated paneer, which is Indian cheese. And if you have cheese which is more wet, then I would suggest you keep it on a paper towel for some time and then you grate it so that you don't have water, because we're going to need make a flatbread out of it. Here we have carom seeds, half a teaspoon of carom seeds, half a teaspoon of dried pomegranate seeds powdered. If you don't find this, you can substitute it with 1 teaspoon of dried mango powder. Although where I live in Chicago also, it's readily available in Indian stores, and in India of course it's very easy to find. Next we have salt, and this is aniseed, ground aniseed or fennel seeds, 1 teaspoon, which I've ground slightly. So these are the things we need. Also, I'm not going to add the salt to the mixture while making the mixture, only when I plan to roll the dough, only then. And now if you think some people with spinach, they have a problem, a slight amount of flatulence, so you can add a pinch of asafoetida for that purpose, and that will solve it. Also the carom seeds also help with the gastric problems, that is. So now I'm going to mix all the ingredients up except for my salt. And the reason I told you I'm not adding the salt is because paneer, the cheese as well as spinach are both made up of 70% water. A lot of water. Spinach is 70% water, so it's going to bleed out, it's going to leak. That is why we're going to add salt immediately before we are cooking our breads. So I'll mix everything and keep it aside. Now if you want, you can also make it with just the spinach, then it will be a vegan recipe. That's entirely up to you. So now I've set up my station and I'm going to roll the dough and stuff it with the spinach and the paneer mixture that we have. So I'm taking a medium sized ball of dough. This is my atta. Okay, so medium sized ball of dough, and I'm going to roll it into a form of a chapati, say approximately 10 inches in size. We'll need some plain flour to dust it. This is again whole wheat flour which I'm using. Now this dough does not need any salt or oil in it. Lots of recipes tell you to use salt and oil. Believe me, it's not needed. Okay, so now I've rolled it up nicely. You can see it's approximately 10 inches in diameter. Here or there doesn't really make a difference. All we're aiming for is a place to put the stuffing in. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some dry flour to this. This is my mixture, and now I'm going to salt it first, because now I'm immediately going to put it inside as the stuffing. That's why this is the time to salt. So I'll mix up the salt well, and now I'm going to put the stuffing in the center, but before that I'm going to dust it with a little plain flour. And the reason I'm doing it is so that if there's any excess moisture from the spinach which oozes out, that flour can absorb it. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of flour even on top too, for the same reason. Now I'm going to pinch it close. I have made pot stickers, and that is the way I want you to close this paratha, for the simple reason if in case you were closing it, bringing all the dough together in the center, then you would have a big plonk of dough when you roll the paratha out, and you will have a lot of dough, no filling in the center, which is not very palatable. If you do it this way, you will not have a big dollop of dough anywhere at all. And now I'm going to just bring it all together and press, and I am going to squeeze out the air from this. Do you see the air bubbles? Hang on, I'll show you. Do you see this? This is what we want removed from our dough, this ball. And now I'm going to take some dry flour, and then I'm going to pat it, press it into the dry flour well. This is so that I can roll it easily. And now this is the seam side and this is the top side. Just remember these two sides. The seam side, I'm going to gently press my rolling pin into it to help me roll. Then if I find any spots with spinach hanging out or peeking through, I'm going to cover them with little flour, dry flour, turn it on the top side and then roll it out. Now I have made parathas using many different ways for novices, ways for experts, for beginners. Please refer to my gobi ka paratha videos or cauliflower stuffed flatbread, and I'll also put it in the description so that you can see the different ways. Here I'm just using this one way, and do you see, you can actually see the spinach everywhere, so that means it's well distributed. Now it was peeking out again, so I've added a little dry flour, and this is now ready to be taken over to the tawa or the griddle. Now this is the side which is on touching my hand, right hand, which is the seam side, because on the tawa the top side will go down first. Just remember that. So the top side goes on the tawa and the seam side faces you. This is the way to cook the paratha or put the paratha on the tawa. Now this tawa is clean. I'm sorry if it doesn't look clean, but it's a really old tawa, and that is why it looks like this, but trust me, it's really clean. So we'll turn it around when I think it's slightly cooked. And you can see I used a lot of flour, because when you make spinach and paneer parathas, you will need some dry flour, excess dry flour. Just take a cloth and just wipe it off. Some mixtures do require a lot of extra dry flour. Maybe in a potato paratha you would not require that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add ghee to it. Now I am taking ghee. You could take any oil of your preference. I am a Punjabi, ghee is the way to go for me. And I'm going to spread it nicely and then cook this side as well when I turn it around. Now some people like to put ghee on both the sides. I don't. I just put it on the top side. And do you see, you can actually, because of the ghee, it's turned a little translucent, and you can actually see that the filling is spread really nicely. So I'm going to turn it around now. Now I'm going to use this cloth and I'm going to press it in, because this will also pick up the excess dry flour if there is any. But if you don't want to use this, it's absolutely fine. You can just take a spatula and press it in, because basically you want a lot of crispness and red on the top side. This is the seam side which is facing you right now. Like I said, people use ghee for this. I am not going to. You can if you want to. It's just that people are managing calories, and if you do crisp the side up, it is going to face the plate, so it's going to get soggy anyways. So what is the point, right? And we are going to add butter on top, so we can let the ghee be. So we're going to roast it really well and then turn it. Like I was saying, you could use any leafy greens for this. You could use kale, you could have a kale paratha. You want to omit the paneer, you can do that. You want to add broccoli to it, sure, go ahead. It's up to you really. I will be teaching you many more such parathas made with green vegetables and otherwise too. So stay tuned for that. Cooking is all about love, cooking with a lot of love. You can mix and match the ingredients, like I've always said. Apart from baking, everything else you can mix and match the ingredients. So I'm just simply going to make all of the parathas, and you can serve them with white butter, yellow butter, green chili, pickle, any kind of pickle, and some yogurt also. They are heavenly. Do give it a try. Give me a like if you like the recipe. Share and subscribe. Press the bell notification, because you know that you have to come back, right? And look at the filling. Isn't it lovely? The first bite is for you, because you are my family too. I hope you do try this recipe and comment if there's anything else that you'd like me to make. Do come back because there is a whole lot of goodness and deliciousness where this came from. Bye.